All right, so we've just completed the first inversion, 6 patterns of the 3 triad notes, and now we're going to move on to the 5 melodic cells that contain these triad notes, but with an extra note thrown in just to make it a little more melodic. Oh, and I want to mention that I play these melodic cells in a rubato style. Rubato means freely. It's not adhering strictly to the rhythmic patterns going on in the background music. And so, yeah, I don't want you to be distracted by that. After playing all these root positions, first and second inversion, triad exercises, and trying to be on beat as much as possible. When I play these melodic cells, I kind of like just play them how they feel, and plus these things, if you play them a little bit differently like that, you can kind of hear how they can sound different. They can feel different if you play them in a different way. And so if you're improvising, these cells can come in pretty handy. They're not difficult, and I think they sound really good. And they can sound different depending on how you accent or space the notes out rhythmically. So yeah, I mean they're kind of fun. They're easy to play, and they sound good, and I think then that makes it more enjoyable. All right, so I've had other videos that explain this diagram. It looks very confusing if you've never looked at it before or didn't watch those other videos, but I look at these every day when I practice. Even now, even after a couple of years, because you can't see what you're playing on a harmonica. You can see what you're playing on a guitar. You can look at your hands, and you can see what you're playing on a piano. You can look at your hands. Even on a saxophone, you can kind of look at your hands. Flute, you can kind of see. And so harmonica, you can't see anything. And so in that video, I kind of explained, the progression of how I kind of came up with this diagram right here, and so yeah, I urge you to go back and kind of watch that, and you can kind of get some insight. But just for simplicity here, I mean, so you can see this is first inversion, and it has the 6 patterns, and notably you see this 1, 3, 5, and a 6, and the 5 is yellow font. So as you might be aware, then here we are, this 1, 3, 6. That's the white font. That's the triad. That's the first inversion triad, and they're connected by black lines. The solid black lines represent intervals of a third, and the dotted lines represent intervals of a fourth. And so the fact that the black lines are connected to 1, 3, and 6, those are the notes you're supposed to play that first inversion triad. Okay, and then that 5 note is the one that's the non-triad tone. And in this case, you'll see how we're going to play those. So there's that non-triad tone. So we're going to play that third, and so we're going up a sixth, an interval of a sixth. So we're starting with that 1. The one in the circle, the yellow circle, 1, and then we're going up to the 6, and then we're going down to the 5, and then down to the 3. So that's 1, 6, 5, 3. That's the melodic cell. And then we're going to go down. Then at the end it says go down a step. And so that's a step is an interval of a second. As you can see, it goes 1, 6, 5, 3. So the interval from 6 to 5 is down a second, even though it's just 1 step, because you always start counting when you're doing intervals. You start counting on the one you're standing on to begin with. You don't start counting on your first. The completion of your first step, right? However, when you count steps, if you're just saying steps, you're not saying intervals, then you count it like if you were going up some stairs. That first step is 1. So in this case, the 1, 6, 5, 3, and then after the 3, you end up in, and then you go down 1 step. So you're going down to the 2. You can see that red arrow there pointing to the one whole draw, right? And so that's where we're going to start, right there. Okay, and so now you can see it's 2, 4, 6, and 7, right? But if you keep the same pattern, see these are now yellow lines, and that's to differentiate between, so you can keep track in your head while you're playing. You can see, black is always on the 1st degree, yellow is always on the 2nd degree, green is on the 3rd degree, blue is on the 4th degree. Just makes it easy to kind of keep track while you're trying to play, since you can't see what you're doing. And so in this case, 2, 7, 6, 4 is the sequence that we're going to play, right? And there it is, and there's the 6, and that's the one in the yellow font. That's the non-triad tone. So the first one was 1, 6, 5, 3. The second one here is 2, 7, 6, 4. Okay, now we're going to go down one step after the final note. And then now we're going to go from the 3. You can see it's the green lines, right? The solid green and then the dotted line green. So we're going to go 3, 1, 7, 5. So that's up a 6 from the 3. It goes all the way up to the next octave 1, right? It looks like you could say 3, 1. You might think going down 3 to 1, but no, you're going up to the next octave. So you're going up a 6th, 3, 1. And then you're going down 1 to a 7. That's actually down, right? 1 to 7 is down. So with 3, 1, 7, 5. So that's the same pattern. It's up a 6th, down a 2nd, down a 3rd, and then 1 step down to start the next sequence, right? All right. So and in that regard, this is melodic cell number 1, 4 note, and this is rising, ascending. So here's how this sounds. And again, those are the non-triad tones there. Okay, yeah, I really like that. I like that note sequence. I think it sounds really pretty. So now we're going to do that same cell rising, descending.